Hi, Dr. Gauntt here. I'm going to go over 3 shoe tying techniques that may be helpful to you, and I'll show you with 3 different shoes here. The first technique I'm going to show you is a way to keep your shoes tied. A lot of times people will double knot their shoes to try to keep them tied, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, untying them becomes a bit of a problem, so people tend to slip their foot in and out without untying the shoe because it's easier. So this technique allows you to keep your shoe tied and yet allows you to untie it very readily. So a couple of different things. When you pull your shoe strings, go ahead and pull them up firmly. When you cross over, don't just cross over once, but cross over a second time. Then when you pull this down, the string lays very flat, and it actually lays in place pretty much by itself. This is similar to what we do in surgery to tie a surgical knot. Once you've done that, go ahead and form your first loop. Go around as you normally would, and then go around a second time. And when you do that, then you pull your string back through where you normally would, but with that double throw, you see it's twice here. Once you pull that up, that pretty much stays rock solid all day. It's similar to a double knot in the way that it holds tension without the double knot process. Then at the end of the day, or when you want to remove your shoes, it's simply a matter of pulling on one of the strings and it's loose just that quickly. It's much easier to tie, in my opinion, and it stays very well. It works particularly well on shoes that have these round shoestrings that tend to be slick and slide apart rather easily during the day. So let's talk about another shoe tying technique. Many shoes nowadays, this is an athletic type shoe I'm going to show you next, have an extra hole that is further back towards the ankle. It's right here, and it's on both sides of the shoe. And that is called a heel lock. The purpose of it then is to lock your foot back in the shoe so that it's not sliding forward. This works particularly well for sports where you're moving back and forth quickly, racquetball, tennis, basketball. Helps with runners, particularly if you're running hills where you're going downhill. If you have runner's toe, bruised toenails, soreness in your toenails, this can help. So the idea is to keep the foot back in the shoe where it belongs. So here's how those holes are used. You take your shoestring and on the same side, go ahead and go through that second hole. Of course, it's sometimes easier said than done. There it is. And then form a loop on this side. Come around and do the same over here. Form a second loop. Once you've done that, then cross your strings and put them through the opposite loop, such as this. Once you've done that, you're ready to tie the shoe. Now, you don't pull forward for tension, you pull to the side. That locks this against the front of the ankle and really pulls you back into the heel of the shoe. Then you go ahead and tie the shoe normally. And it's that easy, but this technique really keeps you back in the heel counter area. You have to watch it. You can almost tie it too tight in this location. Then the third thing that I'm going to share is the technique. Many people have a small bone spur or a spot that gives them trouble on top of the foot, radiates pain, numbness, that kind of sensations into the toes. So this is a very simple technique that allows you to avoid that area. As you're stringing the shoes, you go ahead and do the back and forth crossing. Then when you get to the area where you have pressure or pain, you just skip those areas of crossing over, work your way up the shoe, and then at the top go ahead and cross it over so you can tie it normally. And you can use either or both of the other techniques that I've shown you. And in doing this, you've allowed yourself to leave space here where you have pressure and irritation, and yet you still have the ability to keep the shoe tied rather readily. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching.